Everyone thinks Machiavelli is a quote. I thought he was a switch, so I turned it off. Emotion, attachment, sentimentality on purpose. What nobody tells you is this. Detachment works. It gives you clarity, control, and silence. And if you go far enough, people feel it before you speak. This episode isn't theory. It's a field report. I'm going to share the state I lived in, the ceremony I used to hold it, and the price I paid when detachment stopped being a tool and started becoming a home. Listen to this like documentation, not entertainment, because power doesn't ask if you're ready. It just collects. Brothers, check the show notes and let's start the podcast. You guys are listening to the Masculinity Show, a podcast for introverts to become more masculine and get the body of an alpha male, and of course get more mentally healthy and get that seducer's mindset, if you get me. And lastly, I help guys become more desirable and get the mindset of a seducer. Let's get into the podcast. Brothers, you're about to hear a story later in the content in this podcast about how I really did invoke the prince. Yes, Machiavelli the prince. A lot of you don't even realize that this is a completely true story. Like, I'm gonna back this up with a very intense story, so just stay with me. I want you all to realize this right now. When I see comments like with me and Kristen talking about Machiavelli the prince, was on her podcast though, called How to Get the Girl. The tangent is this, you guys. I want you to know this right now, okay? The thing that a lot of you don't really understand, and some of you guys think, you invoked the prince. Like, what do you mean, Adam? What do you mean by that? Guys, listen to me. If you didn't know this, I write ceremonies. Have you listened to my podcast? Just check out Black Flame Ritual of Sovereignty. Check out last week's podcast. I believe it's like phase confidence conditioning or something like that. Look for confidence conditioning. But anyways, phase 0 confidence conditioning. There we go. Phase 0 confidence conditioning. Now, that aside, you guys, the tension is this, okay? I'll say this real quick. Check the show notes. Sign up for the 14-day challenge as I have in there. But I'm going to get to the content now, all right? What I was saying about that Ask Women interview, or how to get the girl, all right? Some dude was like, does this guy know who Machiavelli was? It's like, come on, are you kidding me? Like, I literally wrote an entire book that I'm about to release, but it's going to be in the near future. But anyways, just understand that this ceremony that I'm about to reveal later in the podcast, I got chills behind me. Like, it was like I could feel the prince behind me. But I'm going to tell you guys this right now. That might sound nuts to you, but I'm going to tell you the truth. I would tell you nothing but the truth. This is real, okay? This is fucking real. So if you think, I don't believe in spirits, I don't give a fuck. I just don't. Find a different podcast then. But anyways, what most men get wrong about Machiavelli, okay? And now some of you already know by now that on that podcast on How to Get the Girl, I said I don't want that presence in here anymore. But I will say this. I sometimes will reach out to him here and there. It's not very often, mostly for strategy, but I'll get to that later. Anyways, this is the point on what I was saying, all right? The first part of this podcast, what most men get wrong about Machiavelli, okay? Most men think Machiavelli is about manipulation or just being mean, or some edgy way to justify bad behavior. That's surface level Machiavellianism. Machiavelli wasn't teaching men how to hurt people. He was teaching rulers how to withstand emotion without collapsing their position. That's a very different thing. Real Machiavellianism isn't loud. It's not theatrical either. It's not even like about just being the most manipulative guy ever. It's restraint under pressure. And here's what where most men get it all wrong about this, okay? They want the results of detachment without paying the psychological cost of detachment. Guys, listen to me. I went through real emotional detachment. It was very real for me, extremely real. And I'm going to tell you the truth. My family did not like who I became. So, again, that's when I did that ceremony. I'll get to that later. But anyways, the point is this. Guys want results of detachment without paying the psychological cost of detachment. They want clarity without distance, power without isolation, control without consequence. That's not how it works. Machiavellian detachment isn't something you think about. It's something you enter. And once you're in it, you don't get to pretend it. It won't touch your relationships, your tone, or how people feel around you. Okay? This is where my story starts. Okay? This is where my story actually starts. Not with theory, but with intent. Break up into empty wins. All right, brothers. This is what I really want you to hear right now, okay? The first real consequence showed up in my relationship. It wasn't dramatic, wasn't screaming, okay? No betrayal, just distance. Detachment doesn't announce itself. It makes you quieter, less reactive, less available. And at first, that feels like strength. But eventually, the other person realizes they're talking to someone who isn't really there anymore. So we broke up. Yeah, speaking about Emily, I did bring her on my podcast a long time ago. But anyways, here's where most men expect this story to turn into regret or collapse. It didn't, okay? It turned into freedom. At least that's what it looked like on the outside. The phase most men envy, but most don't understand. After the breakup, things got easy, right? Didn't really go on dates, you guys, not really. It was just a lot of late nights, a lot of sex. Numb sex, I'll tell you. Numb sex, you guys, not really a good thing, okay? I'm just going to be real with you. Numb sex is like you don't feel anything and you're fucking, basically. Like, I don't like that. I'm going to be real with you guys. I prefer connection with a girl. So my standard, if I hook up with anyone now, is I need to feel a connection with them. But anyways, let's go. No attachment, no emotional negotiation. Okay, no emotional negotiation. No follow-up texts. Just presence, chemistry, and exit. And if I'm being honest, it did work, you guys. Women were drawn in by the calm, the silence, the lack of need. Wasn't really chasing either, okay? But I was unavailable. Yeah, completely unavailable, okay? Guys, listen to me. I went through a time where I was just completely emotionally unavailable for nobody, like even my own family, okay? So I'm going to tell you guys something. Watch how far you take that, because I went a little too deep. You'll read more about that in my hardcover book, 77 Ways to Develop a Masculine Mindset. So I want to be clear about this right now. This is the part nobody talks about, okay? Here's the part most men don't expect. When detachment becomes the default, pleasure flattens out. Sex doesn't really happen. Connection doesn't really accumulate. Nothing carries forward. Every win resets to zero. You don't feel heartbreak, but you also don't feel continuity. And after enough nights like that, something clicks. Guys, listen to me. I did hook up quite a few times after my breakup, but I'm going to tell you guys, I want to tell you right now, those hookups didn't feel great. I'm going to be real with you. They just didn't. As I said, numb sex. Numb sex is like, oh, we're fucking, but I don't feel anything for you, right? That's not good, you guys. You should kind of have like a connection with the person that you're hooking up with. But anyways, that aside, you guys, that aside, the line that hits the lesson, you guys, or that lands the lesson. Detachment gave me options. It also made me disposable too, if you think about it. And if you stay there too long, you don't lose women, you lose meaning, okay? The point is this, you guys. Detachment only gets you so far. Like, you can say, oh, Adam, you should be outcome independent. Sure, I agree with that point. But how about the fact that if you are too emotionally unavailable for nobody, here's what happens. Girls feel like shit after the long haul. They do. From my experience, they do. So I suggest you really consider that before you consider doing a bunch of one-night stands. But let's keep moving forward. As I prepare for this next part, you guys, okay, this is more about preparation before the totem ritual. Yes, I'm going to reveal the totem ritual. This is how I would approach basically to go out and kill the game when you want to go pull women effortlessly. Yeah, you know what I mean by that, don't you? You guys know what SNL stands for? Same night lays. Yeah. those type of lays, if you know what I mean. You get in the club, look for the right venues where you get same night lays, like cowboy bars and stuff like that. But anyways, this is the listener preparation, okay? The whole point aside, you guys, is you need to actually add the biggest caveat to this entire podcast. Do not go through total detachments. I don't want that for you. I went through that a long time ago. I talked about this with Kristen Carney too, if you find that episode on the Ask Women podcast channel. Anyways, this is a preparation now, okay? Before you hear this next part, I want you to prepare for it properly. What you're about to hear isn't aggressive. It's not loud. It's not theatrical. It's a little more quiet and controlled. Okay, it's more controlled. And it's intentionally detached, intentionally. When I first shared this with a friend, his name is David, okay? His reaction wasn't fear. And it wasn't really resistance. He just said it feels eerie. That's what he said, you guys. It was a guy, too, okay? He said it feels eerie. Not because of the words, no. But because of the tone. That's important, okay? Because detachment doesn't feel dramatic. It feels unsettling when you're not used to it. Not in a bad way, just unfamiliar, okay? I want to be very clear about something here. I'm not trying to trigger you. I'm not trying to pull you into anything. I'm not asking you to believe in anything, okay? I'm not asking you to believe in the prince either. Some people out there don't even, like, comprehend that the prince is a real person. But anyways, calibration, okay? Here's a lesson I didn't understand at the time. And the one I want to teach you all to understand that now. Detachment is not meant to be total, okay? As I said, total detachment is a phase. It's a correction. It's something you pass through, not something you live in. Some women are drawn to completely unavailable men. That's not healthy either. I'm going to call that out to women too. You should not be drawn to those type of guys, okay? I just want to make that clear. Anyways, I've said publicly, and I'll say it again, okay? I went through total detachment at one point. And it taught me a lot. But it also took the things from me. What I'm teaching now is controlled detachment. Detachment with a dial, not detachment with a kill switch. Enough detachment to stop overinvesting, stop chasing validation, stop seeking permission, stop being emotionally reactive or even emotionally available, for example, okay? But not so much that nothing can reach you, nothing can move you, nothing can matter. So as you listen to this ceremony, don't ask yourself, do I like this? I don't care if you like it or not. That's not the point. Ask yourself this question. What kind of presence does this create? Okay? Because presence is what people feel first. Long before words, long before intention. This is the exact recording I made during that period. Now, before you hear this ceremony, you guys, you're gonna need like a Speakeasy hat. Yes, I'm being serious. A Speakeasy hat. Find one, buy one. It is a totem ritual designed to use a Speakeasy hat. Okay? A few items you're gonna need. Let's keep moving forward. Red candle totem ritual. The Speakeasy player. Phase 5. Emotional tethering and psychic residue. This is a totem ritual. Identity imprints. Players haunting anger. The demonic Rake twist. The Speakeasy player is no longer just untouchable man with an inside joke. He is the shadow in the corner. The one whose silence seduces harder than anyone's words. His presence is playful yet predatory, inviting yet unsettling. He lures girls closer, not for comfort, but to remind them they're not safe from their own desire. black and red candle together. There's black candle lit. And then red candle second. Totem hat on my head. I have 2 necklaces on, ring, vessel for Rake's residue, drink. I'm gonna grab my water real quick. All right. Nicolo's invocation, opening seal. Before touching the totem, face both candles, red and black. Both candles are lit. Nicolo, keeper of masks, shadow of power. You taught rulers to smile while they cut deeper. Tonight I call your peasants into this field to cloak charm with danger, to mix seduction with fear, to make them lean closer, knowing it will cost them. Walk with me in silence, for I am the Speakeasy player, and tonight the game is mine. Black candle is lit. Danger. Red candle for desire. Set the stage. Candle in front of the totem. Putting the hat. I'm going to put the hat in between both candles. I had some of that water that I have, you know, from the Speakeasy Club, North Side Speakeasy. I lit both candles already, so step 2 is already done. I'm not the loudest voice in the room. I'm the silence they can't ignore. I'm the thought they shouldn't be having. I'm the danger they lean toward anyway. I let the world tempt themselves with me. Claim the totem. Now, grab the Speakeasy hat. Wearing it. Let the energy pour into it. This carries me into the night. A whisper of danger. A taste of ruin. Subtle, addictive, demonic. Mirror seal. Look deep into your reflection and let your smirk tilt into something dark. Ooh, I saw that dark look in my eyes. This game, they don't confess. This is the side they dream about, but never name. I am the Speakeasy player. They lean closer, knowing it will cost them. Closing the ritual. Snuffing both candles. Black one first. Sipping the water. Red candle second. This ritual is now sealed. I don't enter their world. I make them surrender to mine. The cost that I learned. Here's the part most men skip. Detachment doesn't hurt you with pain. It hurts you with distance. I didn't feel broken. I didn't feel depressed. I felt untouched. The breakup wasn't chaotic. It was quiet. My family noticed it before I did. They said I seemed apathetic. Not angry, not sad, more indifferent, but slightly apathetic, right? Yeah, just removed. I didn't have much empathy at the time, you guys. And they weren't really that wrong. That's the trade though, okay? Detachment gave me control. It also made everything disposable. Relationships didn't deepen, connections didn't accumulate, nothing stuck. And when nothing can reach you, nothing can stay. What am I getting at, you guys? Sure, this works, but you're gonna go through some short-term relationships, enough said. That's why I'm gonna say right here, you guys, understand this. You want to use a ceremony, it's powerful. Give it a listen to it. Just for the ritual alone, if that's what you want, go for it. Anyways, that's when I realized something important. Detachment is powerful, but without integration, it costs more than most men expect. I'm gonna talk about integration now, yes. The lesson, okay? Yes, you got it. That ceremony does work. I suggest you give it a shot. Open up your mind to the fact that Nicola the Prince is a real person. Yes, he was a real person a long time ago. Just several books are written on him. Just look up the 48 Laws of Power, enough said. But anyways, integration, okay? Here's what I want you to take from this. Detachment is not the goal. It's a tool. You use it to reset your frame. You use it to stop bleeding energy. You use it to regain control when emotion is running you, okay? But you don't live there, all right? Total detachment is a phase. It's corrective. And if you stay in it too long, it stops being strength and starts being absence. The real skill, the one that most men never learn, is calibration. Knowing when to turn detachment on and knowing when to let connection back in. What's the point, you guys? The huge caveat to this, guys, listen to me. There's a point where you can be a player the right way. Yeah, you can. Okay. That aside, you guys, is understand that everyone enjoys having fun. We all do. I'll admit that to you, okay? I enjoy it. But if detachment makes you effective, integration makes you dangerous in the right way. Because you're not cold, you're controlled. So, the point to this podcast, you guys, is this. Go out there and make sure that you use this ceremony with good intentions and make sure that you are in control of yourself and you're not going to abuse what I'm revealing to you. Because I'm telling you, you guys, there are people who do abuse rituals. Okay, I know quite a few girls that do this already, and they are not at all anyone I would recommend to even hang out with because they're too deep into voodoo to even know what the hell they're doing. But anyways, I'm going to wrap up this podcast, you guys. Yeah, that is a whole different story on a different podcast. But anyways, just understand this. You are a legend. And I know I totally just revealed a pretty eerie ceremony, but it's all good, you guys. Use it for the right reasons, and you'll crush it, and you'll kill the game. I love you. Listen to me. Check the show notes. 14-day challenge. I love you. Keep moving forward, and go kill the game tonight. Go have some same night lays, if you know what I mean.